Hi Flosstube, I'm Michelle from Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and if I sound kind of out of breath today, it's because I am cold. We are having snow here in Oregon, and where I live in the Cascade foothills, we get a little bit of snow. We get a couple of days a year maybe. We woke up the day before yesterday to a foot of snow that we weren't expecting. I'd been watching weather forecasts for weeks to check if I had to worry about the pipes freezing. I kept getting these dire winter storm warnings that never materialized. And I looked this week. It looked like it was going to be fine. I had made plans for Wednesday, and I don't drive in the snow. But we had a foot of snow. Then the power went out. Then the power came back on. Then the power went out again and was out for the next 18 or so hours. Power company called, said, hey, your power's been restored. Then you get to call them and go, no, it's not. I've checked the breakers. Believe me, but anything I could do here on my end in the house, I have done. Power finally came out back on about 1 a.m. the night before last, and cross your fingers, so far I have lights and heat and running water, and it's still snowing, it's still icy. I'm fearful. My obsession in my last Flosstube video and the one before that had been Riolas and the cats with clocks, and I was feeling guilty about neglecting my dimensionssal. This is my new obsession. All is calm. It's an out-of-print Dimensions Gold kit I found at the thrift shop with no packaging. It was in the inside plastic bag, and the corner of the chart and the amount of threads, I could tell it was a landscape, so I bought it not knowing what it was, got it home, Googled the image, and went, oh my God, I love this. And I started stitching it for the dimensionssal. I love it. There is so much to love about this, and I keep picking it up, and it's hard to put down. I thought I was making so much progress, and I mean, that looks like almost halfway done, doesn't it? Yeah, no, it's not. But the other thing about this one that is entertaining me, maybe, after finishing Little Girl with Cosmos and putting in a lot of hours on a little girl's fancy, I'm tired of stitching with white. I've been going through my stash looking at things I might like to stitch on in the future and putting aside everything that has too much snow. All this over here, that's going to be snow. I've decided that I'm just going to keep happily stitching over here, and I'll worry about the snow later. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. So, this is the current obsession. I posted on Instagram, I think it was yesterday, my backyard right now looks remarkably like my current cross-stitch project. This is the view of my yard right now. I'm not going to go out closer to the stream because I don't want to get any colder than I already am. All of that gorgeous water there, that's not supposed to be there. The stream should be maybe 2 feet across instead of the 20 it is right now. We are flooding ridiculously. It has a long, long way to go before it would reach the garage or the house, and I don't see that happening. So for now, I'll enjoy the pretty. I'm sure that months from now, when the weather is warmer and this is finished, that I will be very entertained by the fact that my cross-stitching at my yard looked identical to each other. I'm not there right now. I thought I would maybe have the hedgehogs done by the end of February, and I could have had the hedgehogs done by the end of February, except I've been playing with snowy trees. And that's fine. There's not a deadline for this or for that or for anything I'm working on right now until March 1st and Sock Madness starts, and then I will have deadlines. But those won't be the kind of deadlines that I have to keep, so that's okay too. I've been estate sailing. I found this great wooden frame. If it was an inch bigger it would be perfect. I could use this for the hedgehogs and just lose a little bit of that greenery around the edges, and I'm trying to decide. I don't have a square frame. I don't pay to get things professionally framed. There's a reason for that. My daughter wants this when it's done, and so it will get framed, probably, maybe, instead of being buried in my under the bed box. And this frame is so pretty. So I'm watching for a slightly larger wooden frame to see if I find one before I'm done. Would you lose some edges of the stitching to be able to use a gorgeous frame that you got for 50 cents? Let me know, because I'm curious. I'm still making up my mind about how I feel about that. Vintage show and tell. While our power was out, I have been snuggled up. I don't think I have shown you this quilt before. It is double knit polyester. It is ugly. This quilt has few redeeming features. It's warm, and my grandma made it. And all of this god-awful double knit polyester is from pantsuits that she made for herself and my great-grandmother. That thing with the cross stitches and the brown roses, that was a pantsuit that one of them walked around in. That was a pantsuit. I want to go through all the family photo albums and see if I can find pictures of Grandma and Great-Grandma in their pantsuits and put together a collage to go with this quilt. Because it kind of boggles my mind. Grandma didn't quilt. She made a couple of double knit polyester quilts for me and my younger sister when we were little. They were new double knit polyester that coordinated with each other. I don't remember her ever making cotton quilts like I make cotton quilts. Maybe she did, and I don't know. I remember one day I went over to her house and I had knitted a scarf with a cable, and I was so happy about that scarf with the cable. And her response to it was, "Oh, I used to do those." Grandma, if you used to do cables, why did you not teach me how to do cables? Why am I doing this with library books? So, I don't know. She did clothing. She did clothing. All of my mom's dresses for schools, my mom's wedding dress. She did a lot of clothing back in the day, so I don't know if she just didn't want to quilt. And I mean, nobody has to quilt. I'm filming a video wondering if Grandma did quilts that I didn't know about and that didn't stand the test of time. We have got so many family quilts, guys. Other thing about Grandma that is driving me absolutely nuts is I went to the thrift store and I was just looking, just seeing what there was, and found a ton and a half of cross stitch kits that aren't my style. And I found a lamp. Is that not just the most wonderful, hideous lamp you have ever seen in your entire life? I didn't buy it because I didn't need a ginormous, wonderful, hideous lamp. I took a picture of it, and I got video of it for the Thrift With Me video. And I showed it to my daughter, and she wants the lamp. So while I was here being snowbound yesterday, my husband went back to the thrift store, followed my directions to the corner of the thrift store, and even took pictures on his phone to ask in the thrift store if the lamp was still there. The woman who had been working the cash register all day Monday and all day Tuesday said that she never sold it. And she could not believe anyone would want to buy that god-awful, hideous thing, so I think she'd remember selling it. Somebody else said they saw someone carrying it upstairs, so when my world thaws out, I'm going back to see if somehow the lamp is there, because the lamp is $5. My daughter wants it. And the more I think about that lamp, the more I think that plaster conquistador or whatever he is the twin of one that my grandma had on her fireplace in the living room when I was really little. I always thought as a small child that he was a knight, but as a small child I didn't know what a conquistador was, so it's driving me nuts. And nobody else remembers what the thing looked like. which is making me crazier. I'm the only one who cares. Sock knitting. Making good progress on the red socks. I thought I would have these done by the end of the month, but I don't. I've been spending all my time on All Is Calm or discussing wedding plans with my daughter. Halfway Home shawl. Thought it would be done by the end of the month, but it's not. Same reason. This stuff doesn't have deadlines. It doesn't matter. I'll finish it in March or I won't. I may spend all of March embroiled in sock madness. If I'm not embroiled in sock madness, I'll be embroiled in All Is Calm. I'm having fun. And I left my notes on the other side of the room, but I think that was all I had to tell you about today. It's been not a quiet couple of weeks, but I had probably a good 3 days eaten up by the snow, and today is being somehow eaten up by the snow because I'm looking out at the trees that are all weighted down and hoping we don't lose any more big branches. I know we've lost a few, but they haven't had anything important underneath them yet, so knock on wood. I'll be back to see you again soon. Again, I'm Michelle with Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and thanks for watching. Okay, that is pretty. That little bit of a waterfall, that should not be there. This is not what my yard looks like.